I don't know why that is.
Don't forget to like it.
I don't know if anybody's here yet. Good evening, guys. How are we doing today?
Hi, Houston. And Iowa's here. Iowa Mouse. Oh, to Houston Texans.
Nope.
I know I was trying to get those
I
bugs.
know.
The lights on.
June bugs.
Hi,
What are
Robin. There are a lot of them.
Okay, so what? It's Tuesday evening.
Miss you too, Anne. Miss a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
Really do. So yes, it's Tuesday.
Tuesday, about 10 o'clock, I guess, quarter after. We had some technical difficulties getting started, but I think we got everything taken care of. So, what did we do today? Got ready for tomorrow mostly. I'm sore, guys. I can't believe how sore I am.
I weeded a lot. Buffering bad.
Yeah, we did a lot of tidying up around the house stuff that we should have done while we were gone, but we weren't here. So there's that.
Okay. Anne says she's buffering, but
Might be on
D.
her
Ross
end.
Commander said no. Hi, Hugh. Hi, D. Ross or D. Rose. How would you say that?
I don't know.
No, I waited most of the day. Went to a couple of the home improvement stores. Got materials for tomorrow. Made a couple of phone calls. And that's about it,
That's
really.
about it. Talked to a few people. Did touch base with Santa. They're poking along. He says it's a tremendous feeling of hope and camaraderie. And
Mm-hmm.
what else did he even say there? Yeah, wonderful spirit. Bunch of locals in there coming to see him. They're getting everything all set up.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Nice and legal, transparent. Don't want any of the other issues to haunt him. So he seems like he's got a good handle on that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we know a couple of other friends of ours that went out there and have joined up with them.
Yep. Or they were just setting up the tent. Or not the tent, but the camp. I'm so used to saying
Yeah,
tent.
they're at
But setting up the
they're in
complete.
Bunker Hill, West Virginia.
They were setting up the specifically the big green tent for the food, I believe.
Yeah, they were getting the mess tent up,
Today.
and so they're getting stuff beat into shape. Um, they have not spent any convoy money yet, so they have not spent any donated money yet. Just Santa wanted to make sure everybody was clear on that. Um, Currently, people are, I think, covering their own expenses. They're doing food, I believe, but they're at a campground, and the owner has given a hefty discount, but they're trying to get people to cover their own cost for the next month or so. There are some funds kicking around for that, I believe, but it's more of an interpersonal thing.
Hmm.
So the campground.
Yeah.
So
That way everyone can equally share the burden of the housing at least.
Right.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens if we end up back out there in Washington with the 1776 restoration movement or what. It we've got to do some work, make some money, and get some stuff in order around here.
Yes.
But we're banging away on it. So
You've got another job to complete. I've got about, I don't know, maybe like 15% of the weeding done.
nah, I don't think so.
There's a lot.
There's
space.
probably 100 man hours here without any problem just to get it back into shape a little bit.
I was just trying to have this to be a more open discussion without a lot of, what do you call it?
I don't know.
I mean, guidance, but
just question and answer, and you can ask us whatever.
Well, I figure, a lot of people have really sacrificed to be with the convoy.
Definitely.
And others not so much. So I figure at least if they're paying for their housing, that doesn't solely rely on the group fund.
Right.
And I like that idea.
It's a pretty darn reasonable cost.
Right. Exactly.
Less than half of a cup of coffee a day.
I know whatever trailer was there is going to be picked up today, right?
That's a different one. That's the car hauler.
Okay.
Eric is taking the bus back for Marcus,
there, right?
so he's going to drop off that car hauler on the way, I guess. It's not really on the way, but...
Right, but they still have the reefer.
They still got the reefer, to the best of my knowledge.
Good. As far as electricity for there, I think that it'll be generator. They're talking about ways for water. They seem like they're trying to get everything set up. Everybody's working together. I'll get another update probably in the morning.
Yeah, we'll touch base with somebody, but they're trying. Keep in mind, it took the last guys. People's Convoy started organizing, I want to say in like October. So, and it was end of February before they made move one, really. So, I got to give kudos to Santa and all the people out there. They're making it happen. They're going hard at it. We're praying for them. Wish them the best of luck.
Brenda says the car should have carpooled during laps, save money. And I thought about it'd be better to have more cars, but cheaper cars. Or like we were talking about, it's not, I don't know what the difference is to pull an empty trailer versus one without, but to take up more space.
Yeah, the idea of the convoy was to have the visual presence and physical presence of a large number of vehicles. So we wanted everybody there driving who could drive. I will say that
the Jeep gets good gas mileage.
We got good gas mileage, but still we went through a lot of it. Everybody did. We spent half as much on fuel as we did on security, which I was never able to figure out. And fuel was the heaviest cost by far.
Security was 30%.
30% was the total of the total, and fuel was like 56, I think, when I saw.
Is that what? Okay, because I haven't even looked at those numbers. I just didn't even bother. We would love to go out, and we just got to get stuff done. I've not taken you guys throughout the garden because it's a
mess. She's embarrassed.
The grass is really tall. We still haven't had
I haven't had a chance to cut it yet.
And it's super wet here, so I don't know. I'm hoping it dries up and we get a chance. But it's supposed to rain again tomorrow, so we will see.
Yeah, we got a little bit of construction work to do tomorrow, and hopefully the weather holds out for us. And that's most of what I got lined up this week. There's a few things on the table, but we'll see when they pop up. Mosquitoes are bad back here in Ohio. I will say that. I've been getting
I use spray
eaten
because
alive.
when I was out front, oh, it may be over there. I may have left it inside. Hi, Victor. Yeah, there's a lot of things that were a pain repeatedly. Yes, I have, Mander. I just wanted the group to be um, I just don't want any more deleting or anything else like that. Um, I am very relaxed.
I'm ready for bed.
I'm
I'm beat. I'm not gonna lie.
just physically, yeah, I am kind of sore from bending over, but not so much of lifting that wood yesterday. Use different muscles.
I unloaded all that wood today using the same muscles. But it was a pretty good day. Lumber prices are still through the roof. This is crazy. Um, I've got 11, 11 boards in the back of my truck, and they're 200 and some dollars.
Mm-hmm.
So that was,
It's like 273 something something.
yeah. No, I was talking to my brother today, and the motor's shot on the sawmill, and he says, I can get another one at the door for $350. That's like, what, 22 by 4s?
It's ridiculous.
It is. It's pretty
But
bad.
at least they had a lot more wood, a lot more variety, a lot more stock than usual.
Yeah, the store. I mean,
They did.
they're stocked, but the
And
prices are just.
I don't
crazy.
think I had to load a single piece.
No,
There
you
were
didn't.
3 of them working, and they were on it today.
They
so
did pretty
that
good.
was nice. I don't even know what's today, the 24th. So it's this Saturday, the 28th.
I think so.
There are there may be more laps in our future.
Closer to home.
270 around Columbus. I can't even remember what the Facebook group is here. Let me look at it real fast. A couple of people from the convoy are part of it, local. So I told you there's a lot of people from Ohio. Can you find that group's name quickly? Because I was trying to.
I'm trying. Hang on.
I don't know if I've been reapproved because I exited out and I tried to join. Well, no, because
We'll figure that out for. But no, I'm having trouble. I can't find it here.
anyway, they do laps on the 28th of every month. I think it may be a certain Saturday. It's May 28th this week for this month. I've been working or here at home working. It is so hard to try to find any kind of information like what I would like. Oh, because it's from my other.
I can't. I don't play Facebook a whole lot for any of that stuff.
It's on my other page profile, and I don't know how to get back to it. but I wouldn't mind finding out the times that it is.
Maybe we'll try and take you for a drive tomorrow, guys. We'll
I
see.
don't know if I'll have time tomorrow.
On the way back from Columbus or something. We'll see. But it's a good day. It didn't rain, I don't think. It was cool, but not chilly. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Didn't get over to the shop for very long, just to grab a couple of things I need for tomorrow. Can't find anything. My son's moved everything. So that's a general pain in the butt.
The group's called United States Liberty Alliance, USLA, Ohio. But I couldn't find the page of it. Hi, Brian's from there. And his name's really just Brian, but
Bruce is in there.
yeah. There are quite a few people in there. They all want to take a shower and go to sleep.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. It's sun's not going down till 9 o'clock, so that helps you get the longer days in.
I think prices the same way.
Hey.
Everything is so high anymore. Even the grocery store.
Grocery store's terrible.
Like everything is extremely high.
Yeah, I'm happy to see 4.29 gas. So,
is there a diesel shortage?
Not yet. Not yet.
I haven't spoken to Jennifer. Have you?
I have not.
I know there's a whole bunch of emails, including yours, Victor. I just haven't had time to respond to everybody.
I've got like 2,500 unread emails.
It's like going to be on my list for tonight, but I'm
low.
not going to get to it. Not tonight. I haven't heard anything, but I mean, we've not bought diesel up until the past couple of days.
Right. And it's what, 5:45 here?
Is it really?
Yeah, cash. Yeah, I remember it was bad out there on the West Coast, Victor.
Yeah, a lot more expensive than here, but
a lot of it's California's over $6 in a lot of places.
I imagine that they do the Facebook thing in the morning. Those laps. Have you heard anything about it or anything?
It sounds like a very rough tentative plan that has been run by me was that they were going to meet at the Capitol at noon, hang out for about 20 minutes, circle the Capitol once, take High Street up to 270, do 2 laps on 270. At that point, it was thought that some people may return to the Capitol and hang out there for a while. That is all just nothing is set in stone at all. So just keep that in mind.
And then there's also the People's Movement Ohio.
Yeah, I'm getting lost in all the different ones.
Other states seem to have a lot more members, but Ohio only has 49 members in that group. And if you go to, the other People's Movement states, they have a lot more.
Like a stick or something.
Like Pennsylvania has 1.4 thousand.
So, as far as wheat goes, I don't know a whole lot about what's going on, but I guess India had 2 weeks straight of 120 degrees. something like that, and they've lost most of their crops. Wheat is going to be scarce this year, no question about it. No question about it. Hey, Daniel, good to see you. Well, hear from you. And I don't know who's left. I didn't really talk too much about
The
that.
2 trucks left down there at
You got Santa,
the
Big
new
D.
place.
Is Minnesota Mike still there?
I don't know. I didn't ask for like a layout of everyone who was there. Um, I just figured the people who did not go home and that weren't there were probably over there at the other convoy.
Right. I don't know. It's kind of everything's real fractured right now, and I think a lot of people are waiting for the dust to settle and see what happens with Santa's group, the 1776 Restoration Movement, and let's say that a lot of people are gun shy after the whole situation last Friday.
Fontaine says he was there the other day. I saw Santa in the old white cab over box truck in tonight's convoy.
That's
So
Bruce.
that would have been Bruce. Yes.
You want me to get a truck like that?
I'm just not used to him in that truck.
I got such a bad hankering for a cab over now.
I was
They're
actually
terrible to
thinking
sleep in,
about
guys.
it on the way back home from the store.
Really?
I was thinking about his truck, but then white cab over, I did not think about it.
You were thinking of his blue one.
Yeah. I like the blue one. I think it's prettier.
That's an international.
So it was in tonight's convoy. So they had a convoy.
Yeah, I didn't see that message.
I didn't see it either. They are. Are you looking?
Cab overs are cool. And you know, I never liked them until they went away. Back through the.
I definitely was looking at trucks differently.
What? Now?
Driving to and from the store.
You need straight lines. You want the front straight up and down, or you want the top of the hood nice and flat across the top.
He's not got any truck, but we drove our old pickup truck today, and I was like scoping it out, like how has a lot more room than the Jeep. Like, how could we travel with that?
No, we're not traveling that 40-year-old F-250, if that's your question.
No, but
I was just looking at trucks.
something of the same size
Holy
or
cow.
better shape.
I was just looking at trucks. They are wicked.
Okay, they were invited to church tonight for dinner. So that's where they convoyed
that's
to.
not bad then.
Yeah. Was it the same church or did they get to go to a different one? FSC Trucking on YouTube.
I may have to check that out.
I figure you probably switched to it real fast.
No, I haven't. You guys, I watch so little YouTube. I kind of like streaming because it gives me a chance to just hold still and sit down for a minute.
Oh, it's a different one too. Cool.
Evening updates.
That's what we were doing right before COVID shut everything down. We were just going to church once a week at different places and then going out to dinner or something for like our date night.
Yeah.
It sounds funny, but yeah, I know it's going right towards you.
Yeah, it's kind of neat to check out different churches.
Mm-hmm. I liked it. You might have to move forward.
Me?
I don't know. Because it just going right towards you.
No, I found a truck I liked about a year ago, which is unusual. It's not common for me to come across. And Mrs. Mechanic talked me out of it. I saw 2 of them today for sale for about triple what they wanted for that one. So
I think by the time I was talked into it. You'd already gone there and looked at it twice, and the second time you decided not to get it. And then, as soon as it was sold, you talked me into it, and then went looking for it,
And
and
it
it
was
was sold.
gone.
Yep.
Always how it is. Drug my feet too long.
They keep asking about that green body truck.
I know they do.
It was too expensive, he
He
says.
wanted more. Today's market, maybe. That guy wasn't really interested in selling any of that stuff. It was his dad's.
Mm.
I talked to a guy who had parked most of it 11 years ago. Just drove it to right where it is now. Half of those trucks still got the keys in them. I imagine they'd turn right over.
Mm.
But that
Oh,
was a neat place, definitely.
Bill wants to know which video to watch to see what happened because he missed it. But it's been like a few days. Um,
I don't know if they can search on
I
the
don't know. I
channel.
feel like I have to
I
cover up
think
on it.
Antique Trucks was in the title. I don't know a whole lot about the.
Wasn't it Sat Brothers area?
Yeah, it was when we stayed at the Sat Brothers or the
Some people
Cabela's.
stayed at Cabela. Some people stayed at Sat
And
Brothers.
I'm trying to
A lot
remember
of
the name
people
of the
stayed at
town.
hotels.
It
I
was
can't
Filsinger
remember.
Towing.
Phil Singer Towing.
Yeah,
I
it
don't know
is.
if that was in the title though.
No, it wasn't. But Antique Trucks was,
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Of the
I don't know about a competing convoy. I know there's a whole bunch of different
it's
little convoys bouncing around state to
the
state.
Soup
And
Mama
I
one.
know that one's Soup Mama.
I think she's still part of
I
it.
don't think they're doing a lot of convoying. Let's keep in mind that in order to be a convoy, you need to drive places. That's kind of part of the deal. We are both from Ohio, lifelong residents. Oh yeah, Vic, I pick those things up all the time. In fact, I've got them from the last 25 years or so. The occasional one tucked here and there. I got boxes and boxes of old magazines that my kids will have to throw away someday, I'm sure. But
Mhm. They just don't even want the comments. I don't think we. They think the only
natural habitat. Yes, it is, Lori.
is just to do like the links and stuff. Um, I figure it's going to calm down a lot. That was one coming in.
The car? No, that was a vent pipe from the. We're outside. You can hear that.
Wow, that sounded like it was coming down the drive, getting louder.
Somebody flushed the toilet.
Huh.
It was pulling air from the roof.
I've never heard that before.
We don't sit out here a whole lot.
I think it'll just be a lot calmer, and there really won't be a need for mods except to post the links. My natural habitat. I know. I really wanted to have time to show you guys what all the flowers look like before I weeded, but it really wasn't bad. I've been using cypress mulch and it helps so much more. Um, it lasts longer, it covers better, it prevents a lot more weeds. It is pricier.
A little bit, but
It
it lasts longer. It really does.
cuts like it. I get a lot more splinters with it. I don't know how to do
There's
it. And those
cypress
splinters
lasts a lot longer.
usually get infected more.
Most of your
But
brown and
all
black
in all.
mulches are just ground pallets with arsenic sprayed on them. They're not that great.
A lot of time I'm used to using wood chips, so they don't last at all.
Wood chips don't last that long. That's due mainly to the way their chipper cuts them versus tub grinder does. So
hmm Probably because of that tree limb.
I got to trim a couple
Yeah.
of those up.
I figured that one would be in the way, but no. That maple tree is huge. It needs trimmed. It's really old. And then we've got another maple.
Do you remember
over
how
there.
small they were when we moved in?
Yes, I do.
I mean, they weren't small, but they're a lot bigger.
They were climbable.
We've been here since '98.
Now you need a harness to climb in it.
That one was always a good size.
But yeah, I'll take you around in the daylight. There's another pine tree over here. It was pretty small when we moved in. And now it's been dead for a couple years.
You guys can watch me cut that down at some point here.
Once the chipper gets running. Because I want to cut that and then chip it.
Yep.
And then it just goes right where
Right back
it came.
in.
Yep. I was trying to... It's a real low spot there. So I figure if I have a layer of the chips.
Help fill it in a little bit.
Yep. Then we'll have to work on the stump too. Unless you can cut it down real low.
We can cut it lower, we can grind it out or whatever. I think we can get a grinder in there.
Just grinding it or cutting it. There's birds over there, I hear them.
Fields of spiders. We did see a lot of different bugs that I'm not used to.
Yeah.
Hopefully we didn't bring any back. We didn't see any armadillos, I don't think.
Good night, Victor. I did not. I would like to because I never saw a real one.
We saw a lot of pronghorn
only at
antelope.
the zoo.
A lot of pronghorns. I would say more than those than anything. X-ray picked up some nice rainbow trout.
Where was it? Back in Hagerstown. When he had left to come back home that last day, I left the tent undone just a little bit. And I went talking, and then I came back, and then I thought I would just go in there and get all cleaned up and change clothes. And there was a couple of, pretty nice sized spiders. And they were the kind that, jump. They do jump. They, jumped.
She has been saying that forever.
They jumped. And there were 5 of them. And I stepped on most of them, but there was one that kept trying to get away. And I forget how I got him the first time.
The first time?
The first time. Because I told you.
Oh, yeah.
I was so shaken up, but I was really proud of myself for killing them all. And I didn't have to call anybody over. I sat outside. I think I got some chocolate milk and I smoked a cigarette. And then I thought I'd go back in and clean them up. Yeah, because I was still early in the day. Yeah. And then one started to move. So that's when I had to go after him again. But he was around the poster board. So I just moved the poster board really quick with my right hand. And I had my flip-flop in my left. And then he was still alive. I think it was the curve of the flip-flop and I was getting him on the edge. So then this time I just went like that. And yeah, that's where I had to clean out the bottom of the tank because I had all those dead spiders everywhere. Oh.
That was a tragedy down in Texas, and our hearts go out to all of them, and we are all sending prayers to all the families down there, definitely.
Gonna have me itching now.
Yeah,
That
that's
is,
interesting, isn't it, Lorianne? You'd think she'd be able to handle them quite well.
I almost taped it earlier because I cleaned out the window well, and there was a couple spiders in there like usual. So I
You
take
don't
that
like
one
spiders or
shovel.
snakes or mice or
I don't know.
anything creepy crawling.
But most of the
Snails, you're
time
not
that
too
we
bad with.
find spiders around here aren't that big and they don't
How big were
jump.
those?
Which
And you
ones?
tell me everyone around here jumps.
The one in the window well was one of those wolf spiders or whatever that you call them, or I don't know what the hell they are. They're all the time in the basement. They're like meaty.
Yeah,
Yeah. It was one of those.
meaty.
But I mean, it's like the size of a quarter, not freaking huge. And I just like picked him up with a shovel. Then I put it in the wheelbarrow with the rest of the weeds. It's probably why I have you empty it for me. Because that's when they usually come out and try to like take revenge when they know that they're going
I don't know
to
that
the
they do
fire
that.
or to the compost pile.
It's been many years, but I've had to come home from work before because of spiders.
Long time ago, we've had some hella spiders here. There's been a bat in the house. I think I found out why there were so many birds in the house when we were gone. I'm cleaning up
Oh,
outside,
jeez.
and there's like this beautiful fern, and then there's this other plant that I. Yes, I'm a landscaper, and I have no idea.
Oh, that's a pumpkin or a squash or something like that.
I have no idea what it is. It does look viney.
It's a pumpkin. Maybe a watermelon. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's just starting.
And then there is,
There's a bird feeder hanging on the light next to
yeah,
the doorway, and
it's the
I'm
cutest
sure.
little homemade bird feeder. It's pine cones dipped in something that makes a whole bunch of bird seed attached to them. And the birds come and eat it. And I have a feeling it came from my nieces.
It's hanging inches from the door, which the kids, I'm sure, leave open, letting birds come in. So there, I'm
So
getting.
that was a neat find today.
And
What
yeah, my
else?
daughters are the same way. They freak out with spiders too, and just like that,
Yes.
extremely dangerous driving or doing anything for that matter. I've seen people run into stuff and bang their shins and heads and all kinds of stuff trying to escape spiders.
The oldest, definitely.
The oldest.
Not me, the oldest kid. Oh, come on. Everybody hates spiders, see? Yes. Um, I haven't really read about it, Loretta. Dennis has.
Just saw something about it, and it's terrible. Don't really know what's going on, but I'm sure there's no justifiable cause. Like I said, our prayers go out to all the families there in Texas.
Absolutely. It's like a lot of times I don't even look into it because most of the time I get really mad because it could have been prevented, one way or another about something. Um, I'm not talking about gun control prevention, but
I would
there are
start with locking the doors
plenty
places.
other. What do you mean? Locking the doors?
I mean, lock the doors to schools
Oh,
so people can't get in during the day if they're not supposed to.
so it was somebody that didn't go to school.
There was an 18-year-old man who went to a local high school apparently, but like I said, I haven't really looked into it very much. Very tragic. Very tragic.
I've always complained that there's never been enough security at schools. I've been able to walk in and out freely. Um, and it's just weird.
And it's the age we live in that, and people say, "Oh, do you want your kids going to schools having to go through metal detectors and barred doors and stuff. Well, if they want to go on a field trip to the courthouse, they got to do that. If they want to go to a concert, they've got to do that. If they want to go to the zoo, they've got to, it's.
Hey, Mel. I did not see Lisa Demare's live stream. Is she back down there? A crab in their pool and yard. We've had a turtle here before. It was like a big box turtle or something. I mean, it was mean and all bitey. He's ignoring us.
Sorry, guys. What was the? Am I being asked stuff here?
She's back working at home. Have to check out Lisa's live stream.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, Lisa was something else. That gal was always ready to step up and do something. Didn't take a whole lot of crap from anybody, but she was an absolute sweetheart. One of those people we were just fortunate to meet on the convoy. Definitely.
I didn't ever really know her as the mayor because I didn't see who it was up on the stage, and I don't know. Back then, I really didn't talk to too many other people, but whenever I was around her, she was a nice person. But I just never knew who she was until really late on. I think banning or something. I don't know.
I think that's when she left, went back.
It was after. I don't.
We lost a lot of people in Banning.
We did.
We should not have. We should have done a lot of stuff different. You guys all know that. Going out to California and camping out for 2 weeks, I don't think was the best move. There have been a lot of moves I didn't think were the best move, but they did not consult me most of the time.
I was just really hopeful.
Yeah, it was a.
And now I'm just trying to figure out what we're going to do next. And definitely research it and keep all of the options open for now, I guess. Like I said, I have time because we've got work to do this week. Miss Sophia is...
She's looking for car shopping, I think.
Yes. She says that she's going to work the first shift and then the afternoon shift. So she'll have a couple hours in between. And she wants to go and buy a car then. But I've noticed since she's been using the Jeep since we've been home, mostly, we've been taking the pickups. She's not put a lot of miles on the car. So, I don't know. Maybe she would be a leasing candidate. What are her specifications? One of them's a sunroof. Was there any other thing that she really had to have?
Nah, she wants a backup camera, which I'm not a big fan of those for safety's sake. But no, she just wants something she's not going to have to work.
Sunroof and a backup camera.
And sunroof, she's not going to be happy with it. They all leak. They all always leak. Anybody on here got a sunroof that hasn't leaked on something more than 4 or 5 years old? I didn't think so. I wanted to see if anybody had a sunroof that didn't leak. It was more than a few years old.
Texas oil field, hardworking people.
Yeah, they are. There's always plenty of work out in the oil fields. Always. If you don't want to do it, somebody will step right up behind you, and they will.
Heather Ann's daughter's afraid of frogs. we have a lot of tree frogs here too. Uh,
They're the,
sometimes they do get in the house, and the cat terrorizes them. And then finally, the cat wins, and then the cat will leave them pretty close to the bed. Um, haven't you stepped on one when you got out of bed?
oh, I've stepped on lots of them.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. Really gross. I don't mind the frogs though. I have a whole bunch of like little frog houses around.
You don't seem to pick them up
Hmm.
when they get inside.
I would rather not. I lost my spot.
All right, Ellen. And some of them may not leak. A lot of it too depends where you guys live. Here in the Midwest, we got a lot of leaf litter and stuff like that, and there's drain ports on them, and they tend to clog up.
Thank you, Michelle. Mhm.
I'm the same way exactly, Lorianne, but I think I've turned the corner on power locks and windows. Um, they're just so much more convenient.
Mhm. Hmm. The 2007 Chevy Trailblazer sunroofs never
And
leaked.
they don't all leak, but yeah, I guys in Southern California or Arizona will tell you, oh, it never leaks on mine. Well, I bet not. It never rains there either. But I see a lot of leaking sunroofs.
Mm.
And no, they're good for the first 5 or 6 years usually, but it just takes a little bit of junk to get down in there, and then more stuff starts catching on it, and it's usually like a leaf stem or a maple tree seed or something like that, and then it just starts backing up, and the water can't get out, and it just puddles up in there. Sometimes you can blow them out with compressed air. You can't always get to them real well, though.
In Elkhart, Indiana, didn't we go through there?
I think we did.
I'll be sure to check it out, Ellen. Um, I've got such a huge list. I really want to watch that 2000 Mules.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Loretta. Okay, Ellen. I know I am relaxed. And then Michelle has a 2006 Honda CBR never leaked.
But
2020, dated 1 year.
uh-huh. Yeah, it's kind of a crapshoot. It really is. Sunroof. When you cut a
You
hole in
just
the
have
roof,
this huge aversion to sunroofs.
yes, I
You
do.
always have.
Always have.
But I'm sure that some people's haven't
Some
leaked.
people's work fine and never have any problems. That would not be the case for me. And my daughter, having me to fix her stuff, would definitely,
Or
that would not be the
flipping
case.
out because she forgot to close it, because that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, and somehow it'll be my fault.
Somehow you'll have to deal with it. Whether
Just
it's
like
your fault or
everything
not.
else.
Um, because Danielle, a lot of us have already sacrificed a lot of time, and I mean, when the police come and kick you out,
Yeah,
I kind of
it's
thought
not
I
that
better go home and regroup.
it's not that we don't want to be there, but
Right. Some of them are still down there. Alex Glasgow is really, and Simon Says
yeah,
are really putting
going
forth an
hard.
effort.
Alex Glasgow's going hard.
I watched a live where Santa's crew is making signs to take down there. Um, How far away do you live from DC? Any way you can
Get down
get
there,
a little mini convoy going? Because we have
grab some
until
friends.
the 28th from now until then.
Yeah, we're trying to get back to doing something as soon as we can, guys.
Good night, Lorianne.
We got home Saturday about what, about noon?
Yeah.
I worked Saturday. We worked Sunday. We worked Monday. And I worked a little today. We worked around the house. That doesn't really count as much in my eyes, but it needs done. So it didn't make any money though, that's for sure. But we've been busy. We've been busy.
We just gotta.
I barely had time to get here by 10 o'clock to do this. So
Yes. I was like, hey, we're supposed to go live in a half hour. I still haven't showered. It was 9:27 when I came in from working outside. But yet there are, a few months of bills to catch up on before it would be really irresponsible to leave before then. I don't know. I can't answer why everybody isn't going back or why everybody isn't there.
And there's lots of people that have never been. I would love to see some of them show up.
Couldn't figure out how I could meet so many people that hadn't even heard of us.
That is another thing. So
yeah. That's what I was thinking.
But it would be nice if we could get some new people out there and they can see what's going on. I'm sure there's stuff going on. Like I said, I've been touch base with Santa today. I got to talk to Bruce. He's out there. He's talking about coming back to Ohio on the 28th for the rally. So we're all trying to find our place after the upheaval, I guess, and figure out what we can do and how we can do it. Mrs. Mechanic and I got to get back to the house for a little while. We've been gone nearly 3 months, and I was gone most of the year before that, to be honest. We've only had like 3 weeks at home.
Well, it's like, how long was the Who thing going on for? When was it first public? Because they had a really hard time letting us know anything. So a lot of the time we would stay there. Like, you guys know, I didn't even want to go to a hotel because we wouldn't know where we're going the next day sometimes.
Oh, yeah, that was.
So, I mean, it felt like I was just there on guard waiting for information. And when you do that straight, I mean, it was very few times that we came home. And when we did, it was only for a night or two. And I'm talking like the one time we left there at 9 p.m., came home, got a shower, slept. I think I put all of my stuff like in the washer when we first got home. Took a shower, put it in the dryer, slept, got up the next day, got everything back out of the dryer, and then we just left. I mean, that's just the way it was. Everything went in there, and it was a race to get back there.
It was just, I don't know, easier than going to a hotel and finding a laundromat and everything else.
Well, that time it was because we had to get stuff from here, and yet it wasn't feasible to buy everything that we needed there. Because we got the other air mattress. We got a lot of supplies when we came back that time. It was just a really, really quick trip. And then I know that we also got the cooler for food and the ice packs. But it was a really quick trip, is what I'm saying. So it was just time for us to come home and work for a couple weeks to make some money. And had I known anything about this WHO thing sooner, it would have been nice to plan.
We might have come home sooner to make some money and then more liable to go back for that.
Like when we were traveling past in Burbank, instead of just coming here really, really quick and going, because we could have, but there was no information to ever plan.
Oh, geez. I felt clumsy in that tree, guys. Like I was up there. It wasn't too bad. I mean, I guess, grand scheme of things, but I couldn't find the big saw. My brother had it someplace, I think. So we had that 24-inch and it wouldn't quite reach. And I'm out of practice. It's been a couple years since I went up a tree.
Hmm. Now, tomorrow you can probably watch them fix the water spigot.
Yeah, we were somehow, while we were gone, the garden hose got hooked back up to the hydrant or spigot on the house. And needless to say, it froze and sprayed down the basement. Um, I think my son was involved. But anyway, uh, we'll
I
put a new one in
tried to use
tomorrow.
it.
Yeah,
Didn't
this
work very
mechanic tried to
well.
use it, but we'll get a new frost free in tomorrow.
And what else? Maybe fix the bobcat? Or is it working?
It,
The chipper.
the chipper's probably first on the list. I don't know. Bobcats. Either way. Got dirt in the fuel tank on the Bobcat. Um, of course, there's no drain on it, so the engine has to come out to clean the fuel tank. Of course. So that'll be a treat. My son's truck is in the way, however. I don't know what he's up to, but he's not working on it this evening. So we'll have to figure out what's going on there. I did notice oh, oh excuse me. I did notice a
Hmm.
big bag of exhaust gaskets on the seat of my pickup. So those are probably his. Engines in, bolted up to the bell housing.
Hmm.
Exhaust manifolds aren't hooked yet.
Try to take my CB for the truck.
Tried to take Mrs. Mechanic's CB already.
Should give him the handheld one. It is supposed to rain in the morning.
It ran morning.
Yeah, 11 to 1, I guess. Late morning,
Yeah,
afternoon,
I
and
don't
then,
want to get started too much before 9 up there. We'll see what happens.
but it's not supposed to rain around here, so we shall see. Hmm.
But we will have a lot of mechanicing coming up. I can tell you that. Definitely. A lot more than we're doing heavy duty mechanicing.
On what?
That Bobcat.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll rebuild some hydraulic cylinders. I'm sure you guys will like watching that. It's pretty boring, really, but we'll see. Um, there's some good tricks I can show you.
So, if any of you are from Ohio or know of other things going on in Ohio, please let us know. Um, we know we could do the convoy.
And we're tempted to do stuff like West Virginia, Indiana as well,
Yeah,
Michigan,
but right now,
Kentucky.
for the next week or so,
Next
it'd
week,
be
next
easy
couple weeks, I got to stick
to
around Ohio. Columbus is where it's
stick
at.
probably close to Columbus just because we've got to do work. Good night, Loretta. Travel safe. I don't know. Did we go to Oklahoma? I don't think we did. I
I
don't think I've
can't
ever
remember.
been to Oklahoma either.
When you're just rolling across states, sometimes you lose track.
Yeah, we did. Because it was not a very good pace, I think.
You'll
But
generally know if you drive through Texas. Other than that, you can miss most of them.
definitely want to check out how they convoy. Talk to Brian. I don't know who else was part of it. There was a few of them from
Bruce
the
mentioned
convoy.
something.
And, but, oh, because he's coming back
No,
and
it's
then
his
going
plan.
back
Yeah.
to,
I'll see if I can find that post and screenshot it or something.
yeah. But we'd like to hear about other things going on.
Yeah, if you guys hear of any
People
rallies
that are,
along the stuff that
yeah, we can go to rallies ourselves, but I'm kind of also looking for already active group.
groups, yeah.
Yeah. That's closer to here.
Oh,
I don't know.
excuse me.
We'll see what towards DC is like in a little bit. But I don't know. Because it is kind of far to go down for a couple days. So it's like, I've got to stay up here and get stuff ready for a period of time or whatever.
Yeah. It it was tough making that commitment to leave on the convoy, to be perfectly honest. There was a lot going on, no question. But
Well, we were told it was only going to be 3 weeks.
we were told it was going to be 3 weeks, which,
I was okay with that,
I was okay with that too. I was not super glad about it, but
You had a tougher time making this decision.
yeah,
I was like, okay,
that's
if
what
this
we'll
is
say.
what we're doing, then this is what we're doing. And I had big hopes and dreams that we would pick up a lot of people all the way out there and a lot more on the way back. And it would be huge. I had no idea so many people would leave throughout the course of the journey.
It definitely we started losing numbers hard and heavy in Banning when they parked us for a couple of weeks. It was just
Mhm.
that was a mistake. The horse farm was a mistake to park at for a week.
It was beautiful. Though.
Sure, it was beautiful,
It
but
was really nice. I should have
we
enjoyed
weren't
it
on
more.
vacation.
DC is a lost cause. Not completely. Good night, Robin. Um, I used to love visiting DC. And then we went there for one of Trump's rallies, and DC Metro just continually throughout the night, the later it got, closed down more of the streets were already closed down, but they just started closing down the sidewalks, and the buildings were already shielded with plywood. Hardly anything is even going on. But they just kind of necked everybody down and then let us right past BLM Plaza, which I thought was kind of ignorant. If they're trying to keep the peace and stuff, why would they antagonize, I guess? And there's lots of crap going on that night, but it was a DC local on a bicycle came and kind of like blocked our way and helped us through
Yeah, said you don't want to go over
an
there.
alternate route that was safe and did not lead us 10 blocks out of the way to get back to our hotel that night. And it was just, he did not have the same views as us, but he definitely did not have the same views as DC Metro or the people that were causing all the problems down there. So
DC after dark is a way different place
yeah,
than it is during the day, guys. I mean, like night and
it's way different to go into certain areas versus being at the Smithsonian's during daylight hours. A whole different group. Hi, Teresa. Um, what?
I'm waiting for you to say something.
No. I don't like going into DC, but I don't think it's a complete lost cause.
It's not a lost cause, and if we don't, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, guys. Always remember that. If you're not making noise, nobody's going to pay attention to you. You just get lost in the shuffle. And a lot of times, many of us prefer not to make a bunch of noise because we're from that school where we understand stuff's not always going to be perfect, so we just have to deal with it. Um, and it's not
They
fun to
just
be the
made
one making
some
noise.
really stupid laws, so
They make some
everything's
stupid
gone
laws.
haywire there, you know? But it's still not theirs to just flush down the toilet.
And we've got some checks and balances that do help out, but it's the way everything's become so polarized and so divisive, and DC and politics are not what they were 30 years ago. Um, it's gotten really really ugly, and it
There's
was always ugly, but
a
it's
lot more homeless there.
it's the city's rough. I mean, the city's rough.
Um, it is just, yeah, not a good place at night anymore. I don't know how well it was before, but
And I agree with that. Why be in the area if you're not going to go in to do something?
I don't know what their plans
And
are.
even going around the Beltway we were getting noticed a little bit more. I
I
wasn't super on board with
I
that.
wasn't at first at all. I thought it was like
I
such a
was at
waste of
first.
time.
At first, that's fine. We'll circle the Beltway a few times and let people know we're here, and then we'll go in. But we never really went in. And
But,
we
you
had the
know,
capability. It was discussed. Um,
I think we should have done it at more strategic times. And at that phase of the game, we really weren't good at convoying
if
very
we
much,
didn't,
especially
if
in lots
we
of
didn't
traffic.
convoy in there, we could have landed every single truck in front of the Capitol.
We could have done that, I'm sure,
It
early
would have
on
not been a
if,
problem. There was plenty of ways into DC, but they were not going to let us go in together.
well, the one time we had directions on how to go. I
Well,
followed them and I went in,
we did get in,
and
no
there were like
problem.
3 cars behind me that followed, but everybody else before and after listened to the Zello instructions and didn't think that that was the correct
Yeah,
way.
the Zello was
And that
having
was
trouble.
the one that they hadn't been blocking. And then once we got down there, to me, a better question is, it's like if the goal was to get into DC, I can, I guess I was really stupid. Because if the goal was really to get into DC, what was the plan when we got in there? Because it was more of like, they're not going to let us in. It was a lot of hype.
Yeah,
And
that
then,
was what
especially
it
like
was.
in Sacramento, when my car got keyed, I kind of blamed the people who were inciting, saying, oh, they're not going to do this and that.
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
The one leader
Oh,
always made them who made the bad call in Portland.
oh yeah.
Just all the time. Just, I was going to say again in Portland, saying, stuff that's not there, trying to
Yeah,
make
they
it
hyped
be
up a lot of
true.
stuff and made it seem like there were a lot of threats that probably weren't actual. Um, there was
What I'm saying is that we could have not really went under the radar. We couldn't really sneak into DC, but we didn't have to really announce it
we
and
could
egg
have
people
got in
on
super super easy.
and keep talking about the ramps being closed.
Only about a third or a quarter of the ramps were closed.
There were ways to get in there.
Plenty. We made it in. Trucks made it in. Um,
Yeah.
what it was a
There
lot of
was no
people.
plan once we got in there, really.
That too. A lot of people were scared to go in on their own, is what it boiled down to. And if they weren't following somebody with 10 people behind them, they didn't want any part of it.
I do feel a lot safer with numbers in
Yeah,
DC.
but that's not how it works.
I'm
In
not going
order
to
to,
go in there all painted up all by myself, because as soon as you get in there, then you have 2 DC Metro tailing you.
I agree. There's at least 13 different ways into the Capitol that we have discovered throughout the course of the past days. Some are
Yeah.
not accessible by truck, some are. Most all are accessible by passenger car. Um, what we did not have was we didn't have enough individual people, I don't think, willing to lead smaller convoys of half a dozen vehicles or so and tried to get to the same place. I think that probably would have been effective. If we could have got in and got parked when we first got to Hagerstown, there was enough people there that it would have got national attention. But we did not. We just drove the Beltway for
But
weeks.
after a while, it seemed like, yeah, we were getting a little bit more support from the locals. You know what I mean? It took them a little bit. That's why I said at first I thought it was a complete waste of gas and time and energy and everything. But in the end, on that one, I saw people joining us up on the overpasses. They would drive by and honk, friendly honks at us. I think it took them a while to figure out why we were really there at first. They were not happy. And then I think some of them actually went online and did some research and figured out what we were about
Mm-hmm.
and became tolerable of
Mm-hmm.
us. But it did come to a point where enough is enough. Um, don't really mind driving around the Beltway as much as we did. If we could have got out and, you know, maybe not had a fuel stop there, but still go in to a place to talk with the people.
Mm-hmm.
Because just the driving around wasn't effective. There were so many other things that could have been more effective.
I agree. O2 Houston, we should not have gone to California. I said that from the beginning.
Mhm.
I agree wholeheartedly. It killed the convoy. No question about it.
Yeah, we got in there. Gosh, I mean, 7 to 10 different times. But like I said, there was no plan once we got in
Right.
there.
It was just.
I mean, I felt like I was just wasting more fuel, and then we would try to find each other, and then there would be a couple people parked here and a couple people parked here, and
They'd hop out of their cars and run around waving flags, screaming freedom. And that didn't really get anything done, to be perfectly honest. Um,
yeah, um, they acted as if we already had victory by getting into DC, but that's where the the really hard work actually begins. It's never been hard for me to ever get into DC.
no.
It's only been hard once you get into the city,
And did we get 7 trucks in one day? And
I
that
don't
we should
even
have sent in
know
4 trucks,
because on
7
that
trucks, 6
day
cars,
it
so on and so
was
forth.
by the time that the trucks got in there, we just stayed on the beltway. We just stopped trying to
Right.
follow people in there because nothing once we did. And by that time also people were not happy with us, so we didn't really stop anywhere till we got closer to Hagerstown. And that was a long drive, really. I mean, like 6-7 hours in the Jeep, and I'm not used to that. I'm not a truck driver. The Capitol should be open, but it hasn't been for a while.
Some used it as a sightseeing venture. Yeah, some we there was patriots there, and there were people along for the ride. There's no question. Um, I wish that things had gone differently. I wish we hadn't. If we had rolled to California and back, I think we would have picked up a lot of people if we had momentum and steam and speed. But instead, we would stop and languish here for a week, there for 2 weeks. Um,
I don't think Santa made any of those calls that came to be in Portland.
no,
At
that was
least
not
not
Santa.
any of the bad calls that I know of. He did like the strategic what ifs, different avenues, how'd you put it? Like if you in those old storybooks, if this happens, then go to page 12 or something. Uh, he can plan out stuff. I'm not talking about Santa on that one.
Yeah, Carl, that would have been great if we had checked cars before they joined and prohibited junk. I tried to do that with a couple people that picked up near the end, and I was shouted down
hmm
and ordered to fix them. So, no, we had people show up that, you know, they got there at 9 o'clock at night, and by 8 in the morning, they needed $3,500 worth of work on their vehicle, and that's what the shop told them. So, it's not that I didn't want to help people, but I took stuff to get people off the side of the road and to a service station where they could deal with it themselves. Um, it was a tough situation. You don't want to leave anybody behind, and you don't want to not help out somebody if you can. But at a certain point, um, we ended up day behind the convoy, a day behind the convoy on a number of different occasions. From just stopping to help, which I'm not upset about. It was what needed to be done, but at a certain point, you need to draw the line and say, okay, enough is enough. It was, we'll never know what we should have done different or how what we would have happened if we'd done stuff different in DC the first time. We did have numbers the first time. We didn't when we got back. Bottom line, and but I don't know. It's I don't know. We did something. We gave it a shot, and I knew going in that it was likely that it lasted longer than I expected. But I don't know if that's just because we took off running across the country for 6 weeks. Um, and yeah, the deal was 3 weeks. We'll be back 21st, maybe the 23rd. Could be as late as the 23rd of April. And here it is. Where we get in May 20th, 21st.
There was a lot of other things besides Portland that they hyped up. I mean, we all know what can happen in Portland, so that's something that's, you've got to take into consideration what has happened there recently. I mean,
Yeah.
is it really hyping up that? But it was a lot of the other stuff prior to that that really, I mean, to hype up something and then it seems as if this rally is with us on our side.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And you're expecting that we're going to a rally it's for mandates or something. You know, we're preaching to the choir. You know.
Yeah, and that was one of the big things. Simon always did a great job of getting out with his megaphone and getting the message out, but he would mostly do it to us. And we'd be lining up, staging up to go convoy, and Simon would be out there telling us what
hmm
we already knew.
Thank you, Mima.
I'm hoping that people go back to their home states and take an interest in politics, take an interest in who you're voting for, who's running, and what they stand for, and how it aligns with what you believe. And I'm not telling you you have to believe what I do, but we all believe something, and you should make every effort to instill representatives who have the same mindset that you do.
Hmm.
Um, and you should know them. You know, you should talk to them. They're much more approachable at a state level than you guys realize, uh, and at a county level too. Make friends with your county sheriff. He
Mm-hmm.
he's a big shot. He really is. Um, so it's it's we'll just keep fighting the good fight, and I wish Santa and the 1776 Restoration Movement
Mm-hmm.
the best of luck. Um, there's a good chance we'll bump into him down there at some point. I'm not currently. We're super busy to go down and hang out with him at the campground.
Good. Always vote and always do your research before you vote. Find out which way they've gone prior.
Yeah, you can. Their voting records are available.
Hmm. No, Portland probably didn't. Um,
No, and we just cruised past. We didn't even go
yeah,
through.
we went around
We
Portland.
took the outer belt. Marcus did make the decision to go through the middle with the women and children. Um, that was unbeknownst to all of us, but however that happened, it is what it is. We got through pretty well unscathed, so no complaints. Um,
Oh well, still won't. Says that's what Patriots do. You get them to a service station.
yeah, but that didn't make him happy. We had a guy show up with no brake lights, no brakes, no power steering,
He was already there at the truck stop before we arrived.
waiting for us to get there, and he knew me by name. Said, "Hey, we gotta
And
get cracking on
then
this truck." I said, "What?"
I have been trying to catch up with the comments, and then I saw his name on some of the comments. Like he had been like on every single video commenting a lot up until the time that we met him, or you met him, because I stayed in the Jeep. But yeah, today, um, I don't think those brake lights are fixed yet. Yes, Carl, we need to get into the towns.
And you guys can do that too. Keep in mind, you do that too. Talk to people online. Talk to people you see at the grocery, at church, at the post
Yep.
office, hairdresser, wherever you go, hardware store. Um, just talk to people. See what they think. Ask them if
Mhm.
they vote. There's there's a lot to civic duty that we don't even think about. It's not just picking up trash in the park. Um, it's making sure your friends and neighbors understand what's going on and how it will affect them.
Rat Rod and his crew were planning on leaving before everything went down, but I'm
Yeah,
not sure
Rat Rod, Red
why.
Monkey, they were all planning on bouncing, and Monkey's out of Annapolis. He kind of planned on heading home when we got back to
And
Maryland.
no,
Red,
Rod's dad's wanting to go home for a while. He was not.
he was not feeling real well. He's got some health issues, I think,
Yeah.
and was not enjoying the convoy at that point.
And it's just that I think the 1776 has got some donations, but I don't think they've spent any of
They have
them
not.
so far because they're trying to get everything set up properly and get a good plan, and that takes time. This was just, over, not even overnight. I
There's
mean,
been one
plans
business day,
changed,
so
boom, just like that.
nothing could be even started until
Right.
yesterday morning.
Nothing was even thought about before the rug was pulled underneath us. So I think that it's just going to take a little bit of time.
Yeah,
Ace Hardware is giving away American flags for Memorial
they
Day.
do that many years.
What I need is a pole. That's what we were looking for today, but it was like $34, and I didn't want to pay that much.
I probably got a piece of conduit.
That's what I was thinking. You should be able to find me a something, and then you need one of those other ones.
I don't know the particulars of what's going on with Santa and his guys at the moment. I did touch base with him today. He is optimistic. Um, he's holding the place for me. He said so. I'm really hoping that this takes off for him. I really am. And like I said, when we get some stuff done, we're already talking about the logistics involved in heading back to DC for a little while. So, but the People's Convoy has run its course, and all good things got to come to an end. And here we are at this one. But that doesn't mean that everything's over. There's a lot of people have been put in contact with each other. A lot of people have been had their hope reawakened that we're not completely down and out. Uh, I'm hoping that things work out well for them. We're in Ohio, guys. The bugs and the folks sound a lot like many places.
Mm-hmm.
The farther you get out of the city, the better they sound.
Yeah. I don't see too many stars because the lights are blinding me.
It's bright out.
Yes, Mima. There's a lot of people that did get information, whether they chose to wake up or not. A lot of people got a lot of information, met a lot of terrific people. Um, I mean, it's like almost any state that I would be okay being stranded in because I feel like I have family from sea to shining sea.
Just about.
I mean, it's amazing. And then to try to find out what's going on here in Ohio gives me hopes of meeting up with people who have left and came back.
Yeah.
Or, I wasn't planning on working until today. So what we've done with the tree was like extra, like bonus that we really hadn't planned on. So we came home, and the very next day we were able to go back to work.
I was at work the same day.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
we came home. Well,
yeah,
because
Saturday.
we came home in the morning.
You took a nap, and I went on a quote.
Yeah, I was so tired. And I didn't feel very good when we got home, even the next day. But I don't know. I'm glad that we were able to start working as soon as we got home.
Me too. And I've got stuff to keep me busy most of the week, so.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And yeah, Ohio is doing some good stuff. It sounds like hopefully we can lead the charge, and other states will follow our example. Knock it off, cat.
Mm. Carol Berry said that they already mentioned that a mechanic would be there just to get you off the road.
Yeah, I saw that. Hey, Dennis, how are you? Good to hear from you, man.
Hey Dennis. Let's see that last thing.
Yeah, gas prices are going to cripple America.
Yes.
We can't get hardly anything without paying through the nose for it. And you guys see it in the grocery, you see it in the gas station, you see it everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Mima, do you know anything that Ohio is doing? I would love. The email is, I believe, in the description. If you could send me links or anything about what our options are here in Ohio.
We miss them too, Tim, very much. Believe me, there have been thoughts of just
They took the food and burned it.
shooting out to DC. I
Didn't remember that.
didn't hear that.
Tim was down there.
I can't imagine why they would have burned uh, food if they couldn't haul it. There was plenty of dumpsters there, but I wasn't there, so I won't speak to it.
No, but do you know what live it was on, or was it live? Are you talking about 1776 or? Um,
We've got a big fire for you guys one of these days.
we definitely have to.
I got to get that burned off.
Yeah.
I am sure some of the food spoiled you guys. Keep in mind that most of that stuff we had donated by the 23rd of February, if not sooner. Um, some of the bread and hamburger buns and stuff like that were getting pretty rough. I'm not going to lie. Most of it was canned goods, boxed goods, stuff like that, that was non perishables.
And a lot of stuff had gotten wet
A lot of
and
stuff had
like
gotten
soaked
wet
through and
in
then
Hagerstown the first
smashed,
time.
and some of it was open and then the bugs got in there. It was not packed properly
There was a number of
from the
issues.
start.
There was a number of
Yeah.
issues. Most of them boil down to a lack of planning, if you want the truth. And I don't.
Thank you, Rose.
I really feel that the co-organizers needed to do a lot more delegation. There were people there willing to help. There were people there that were capable, but it seems like most of the time they wanted to keep everything right under their thumb.
Like I ran out of business cards trying to give them to anyone and everyone that was in charge.
Yeah, so they could get a hold of me. And you know,
Hippie was the only one to
I offered right off rip. I said, "Hey,
contact me.
whatever you guys need, let me know. Lean on me."
And I think it was like the first time she called me, it was 5:30 in the morning. We need help in the kitchen. Oh, those were the days.
Yeah, it
Those were
was,
fun days.
and it was crowded and messy in Hagerstown the first time, and nobody knew anything or what was going on. And
Good night, Brenda.
but it was a heck of a thing, a heck of an experiment. I'm sure we woke up some people and alerted them to stuff they didn't know about. Um, it's certainly I don't think we could have had a similar experience anywhere else. I mean, it was something else, no question. I know they need a mechanic, guys. They've already told me. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm certainly not ruling it out. What I am saying is that we've got a lot of business to attend to back at home that
Yeah,
has been let fall by the wayside for, well, since March 3rd, really. So
probably need to get tires before, at
I
least
do
on
need
the
to get
front,
tires before I go back to DC. Um, need four
thoroughly
new
before
tires
we
and brakes
do
on all four corners on the Jeep.
too
So,
much convoying around 270.
Carol, that's awesome. And if
Hmm.
Santa can lay it out, and that's the thing, and you guys have seen it. And when you're in a position that you've got more than any one person can handle, you have to pass it off to people you can trust. There's men and women that are more than willing to do whatever they can, and you got to trust them, and you got to let them do what they can do, and trust that they can handle it.
Always said that everybody had different roles to play, and some played them better than others, and others couldn't figure out what theirs were. But once people were sure and confident of themselves, and they just found a problem, fixed it, filled the need, things ran smooth.
Yeah, and that's what I try to do a lot of the time,
Hmm.
and that's how I ended up doing so much damn traffic direction because everybody's driving around in circles willy nilly. And when I left the house the first time, I had a high vis jacket on because it was just hanging on the hook by the door. And next thing I know, once I got there, they thought I must know something about parking cars, apparently, just due to my clothes. So I got snookered into that right off rip. But no, if I have no question in my mind that the People's Convoy would have ended up a lot better off if Mike and Marcus and Brian and everybody else involved, the other ones in the Chris and Scott, who I never even saw, um,
There were a whole bunch of unnamed ones
unnamed.
for the longest time. And then it's like people kind of figured out who some of them could be. And then when they took Brian off of the website, or when they made that announcement, that's when they started putting the names out there. Thank you, Carly. I feel good about a lot of the stuff that we did accomplish. The efforts so far, yeah, but it's not done yet. Welcome back, Daniel.
But no, it was tough, but it was fun. It was definitely trying at sometimes and took a lot of patience. But
Yeah, I was surprised that I had as much patience as I really actually had. And looking back, I think that, yeah, I wasted a lot of time with some stuff that really um,
didn't
could
need,
have been streamlined a little bit
yeah.
more.
And yeah, as long as people are waking up and starting to pay a little bit of attention, and all you got to do is hold these guys' feet to the fire. They want reelected. I promise. They want reelected. And the only way to do that is to make the voters happy. And if you're blowing up their phones or filling up their mailboxes, then they're going to know what the voters want. And that's how they're going to, I mean, most of these politicians do not care one way or the other. They see an opportunity where they can say, hey, look, guys, I'm aligned with you. And if I'm elected, I'm going to do what you want. All you have to do is tell them what you want and they'll do it. It's that easy. It really is. They are puppets on a string. All you have to do is tell them what to do and they will do it. The problem is nobody will take the 5 minutes to tell them what to do. You guys should all have your state representatives and senators numbers on speed dial at this point, and the governor, um, local numbers. Really, they should be in your phone. You should hit them. They should be in the last 15 or 20 dial. Call them 2 or 3 times a week. Go ahead, make friends. You don't have to always be rude or condescending or whatever, but just say, hey, don't forget. Here's how I feel about this, and most of my neighbors feel the same way. Um,
I've watched Jeremy getting Facebook arguments.
Oh yeah, but no, I mean just get a hold of them, talk to them, let them know what you're thinking. Like I said, they are just puppets on a string. They know that if they want reelected, they have to make the voting public happy.
Not only be cool when you call, be civil, be informed. Know what you're talking about before you pick up that phone. Get something good, practice it, write it down in case you get on the phone and then you completely forget what you were going to say. Be cool, be civil, be informed. I did watch part of. No, I watched Brian's video from like a few days ago. Is which one I
Yeah,
watched?
we're trying to catch up on stuff,
Yes.
guys. We haven't had a lot of time. TV set hadn't been on yet since we got home.
Oh, it's
So,
hardly ever on anyway.
Hardly on ever,
And it was the first morning because I run my Spotify.
that you're just using it as a speaker. That
Yeah.
doesn't hardly count. But we were definitely not getting paid to fix cars.
No.
Some guys kind of push for donations. I never asked anybody for anything. There was a few occasions I paid for parts, but that got where it was going to overwhelm us real quick. So I had to stop doing that. But I never asked for a single penny in labor or anything like that. We just tried to keep the convoy moving. I mean, ideally, the plan was I'll get you off the side of the road and then we'll find a service station. You can deal with it. Somehow that got mixed up, but I was happy to help out, and it helped the days go by, especially when we were like hanging out in California and stuff.
Yeah, Red. I like emailing. That way, it's all on paper and time stamped.
Yep.
How is the tree cleanup anyway?
Tree cleanup went well.
Very well. Very well.
I forgot a few things. We made a quick trip back when
Yeah.
we got lunch and stuff, and I grabbed
Oh, that's right.
some different
because
rope
it cut
and-
out because of the service, and then we just never got back to.
Yep,
Yeah.
we did get it though.
I believe you about Illinois.
Yeah, Illinois has got some funny stuff going on, and they've got a long history of dirty politicians. Most places do, and any place with politicians has a history of dirty politicians. I'm afraid that's just how it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, read the Bill of Rights, Declaration of Independence, and the Constitution. The more read, and then keep reading.
Yeah, know this stuff. Know it cold. I mean, everybody's got a hobby. Some guys know baseball stats. Some guys know. I can't even keep up with sports at all anymore. But make this part of your hobby. Know these guys. Know what's going on. Pay attention to what's going on, not just in the world around you, but in your cities and municipalities and townships and counties. Exactly, Em. Exactly. The smaller the district, they're always going to be more responsive because there's less people they can make angry without causing a lot of problem for them. And yet, now you've only got to call your district representative and your senator in your state to keep in mind. The other ones aren't going to listen to you. Tell them where you live. They'll want to know that. Ask for a response. Email is the best way because that gives you a date stamp and, there's no question of what they said or how they responded.
Hey, good old boy.
Working cattle. Dad does not have a single steer at his place for the first time in years.
Really?
Yep. Nope. They're all gone.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
I didn't know that. Are they all food?
They're all food. Some were sold, some are in the freezer. But
so that's a lot of food.
There's a leaf over there.
Mm-hmm. It's getting kind of cold.
we're at our house, guys.
Yep.
Carl, we got a house in Ohio, and we've come back here and are trying to get it back into order. We've got two adult children that live here that did not do a spectacular job of keeping it. Supposedly, the grass got cut once. There's some dead house plants. The pets are all still alive, but
I think my one plant is out there. It was like in the dining room, way back in the corner, and I don't think it got watered for the full 3 months.
I don't think so either.
And I put it outside and I drowned it with water today and put it underneath my little maple. And I don't know.
We'll
We'll
see.
see how it goes. But it was somebody's, okay, somebody here in town, like a complete stranger. Her aunt died, and she got some of the plants from the funeral. And that was one of the plants. And then she got on the Facebook group and said, I have this plant. I don't know what to do with it. So then I think I sent you over to pick it up. And then it's a peace lily. So ever since then, like when it blooms, I like send her photos and like keep her posted. But I really don't want to be like, yeah, I killed your aunt's plant. So hopefully it will come back. And
That's one cool thing we do have around here is we've got a lot of flowers and stuff that have been in the family for many, 70, 80 years that have come down from so and so and so and so. And the ladies just take the bulbs and pass them along and divide them up. But that's pretty neat.
confused a bull for a steer.
Bulls have more parts than steers.
I thought steers were males.
They are. They were.
Oh, okay. I got it now.
Got it now.
Yep. I just call them all cows.
They're a lot more cantankerous too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Rudd, that's exactly right. They if you look at some of the voting records from around your place, I'm in a township here is the only thing that I'm not in any kind of municipality, but we're in a township. And it's not uncommon for a trustee to be voted in and there be, like a 5 or 6 vote margin. And you've got 123 for one guy and 128 for the other. And when you get into uh, more rural areas and smaller towns and stuff like that, you'd be surprised how big of a difference you can make just by talking to a few of your friends and talking to the local guys because yeah, they want to get reelected. Even if I'm telling you right now, even the local guys, you think they don't get anything, more than likely they'll meet once a month or something like that and put in a variance for somebody to put a sign up or some nonsense like that. They're not making a ton of money. They are getting health insurance and they don't want to lose that. Most of them especially are farmers and stuff like that who don't have another good source for health insurance, but they definitely want it. So that's one thing that those guys will do that for almost exclusively. But no, they want reelected. And yeah, if you're talking about a district or a township where you've got uh, margins in elections of 10 or 20 people, and it's a lot more common than you'd think. Check it out. Uh, but no, they definitely pay attention to phone calls and letters, and they will get back with you and they will listen to you.
Thank you, good old boy. Had a really good conversation with Freedom Ford night before last. I think you fell asleep.
Uh, I did.
Maybe.
No, I was up
Were
when we
you up
talked.
for
Yeah,
that one?
yeah. The other night after we got off the here, I
Yeah.
called Andrew and
Yeah.
talked to him for a little while.
I think it was when Mike was talking on speakerphone. I think you missed the end of that conversation.
It is midnight here in Ohio.
Yep. And now there was a little farmer's market. They had some fruit while I was out shopping today, and I did not stop. I
You
did
may
not
not
buy
smell my
any.
hair. I'm sure that when you just do it, people think you're weird,
Oh,
as they should.
at the end of the convoy, there was that baby there, and
Oh, for crying out loud!
Hippie was holding her, and I just like went over there real fast, and I'm like, I'm just gonna pull Biden and smell the baby, because you know how babies have that little new baby smell.
I do not.
So I just went over there and sniffed the baby, and then walked off. And most people laughed, and then some of them looked at me kind of funny.
And yeah, check your farmers markets, guys, and more likely, try splitting a half a beef with somebody is a good way to do it. Um, Depending on where you're at, some states allow sale. It depends on the packing house where it comes from, so on and so forth. You will occasionally find guys selling cut packaged beef, but you're not going to save a whole lot of money on it.
You deleted it too fast. I couldn't read it.
You and your neighbor should split one up is the best way to do it. A lot of people think they're going to raise a cow or a pig or something like that, and it can be more work than you think. For one thing, you want to get at least two of them. Um, Otherwise, they won't gain real good. They just don't. They want somebody else to hang out with. If you keep one pig, you'll be like a dog, and you'll never be able to kill it. Pigs are smarter than dogs by a pretty far margin. They're very friendly.
Yeah, they are very friendly. Just go deer hunting.
Yeah, yeah, you can do that, but there's not that much meat on a deer compared to, you know, 1,500 pound steer,
Yeah.
or to be honest, a 300 pound hog.
Chucky, no.
Hogs are easy to raise. They fall apart into pieces that you would recognize from the grocery store. You can cut them up yourself. It's not a difficult thing.
What pig?
Yeah, we've cut up a lot of hogs.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of hogs.
I haven't personally. I don't get into that. I'll eat it.
I've cut up 2 steers, and I'll never do it again. They busted out of the fence and got into a bag of corn and just kept eating on it. And they pounded by the time we got to them. We tried giving them rubinectine, but it didn't do like it should have. But yeah, that was a huge amount of work. I mean, we had pickup trucks with beds full of ice and tarps, and the packing house won't take them if they can't walk off the trailer. And these guys couldn't stand up, so we put them down and started cutting. My brothers and my dad and a couple cousins, a few buddies, everybody come over, and we just cut meat. And we're not good at it. You know, if it takes a little while to figure out how to cut up any particular critter. I mean, from a chicken or a turkey to a hog or a turtle or a beef, whatever.
I'll just stop. I'm right here.
But that was so much work. I mean, good Lord in heaven. Never
Yeah.
again. Never again.
Nope, not get down. Okay, stay up here. He's been giving me lots of kisses since I've gotten home. I think he missed me.
Pig will make a good pet. They're actually pretty clean if you give them an opportunity to be. They'll, use one corner of the pen to do their business and so on and so forth. They like rolling in the mud to cool down, but
where you going?
but no, pigs are super smart. Goats, wethers are okay to keep around if you got a wether, which is a castrated male goat. They're all right. The bucks are just god awful. I mean, they're just terrible animals. Does are all right. They're pretty easygoing and friendly. Sheep don't shut up very often, to be honest.
Come here. He's getting further away. He likes it when I have to reach for him to pet him, and I don't want to do that right now.
Hogs won't eat a lot of stuff. You'd be surprised. I remember one time my brother made up a batch of sourdough bread, and he said it was, oh my God, I can't eat this. It's way too bad. And I tried it, and I liked it. Put some butter on there. It was all right. He threw a lot. The hogs wouldn't eat it. The hogs
one of
wouldn't
the
eat
few
it.
things that the hogs
They won't
would
eat a
not
lot of
eat.
onions a lot of the time and stuff like that. But they can be a little finicky, but usually not too bad. They'll eat most stuff.
You want that bug, don't you?
You can force feed hogs too. If you just have a big pile of feed out there, he'll go and get up a couple times a day and go eat a few bites and lay back down. But if you dump 50 pounds of feed on, 20 hogs 8 times a day, they'll all go for it. And hog wants it all. So if he sees somebody else eating, he'll go and eat even if he's not hungry. You can make them gain a little bit faster like that, but you should be able to get a hog to about 2 1/4 in 5 months.
M gave his cousin's pig a spicy Jolly Rancher, and the hog spit it out.
That's what got that comment. Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention to the cat. Oh, I thought you were going to jump down there and go away. And it's dark outside. Well, I remember when I was cutting up jalapenos, and one fell on the floor, and Moses came over and hurried up and ate it. And he did not like it. He drank so much water after that. You want to go back in? Okay.
You're not the first one to say that, Brenda.
What?
That I look like Jim Croce.
That's usually what you get.
That is usually.
On the convoy, it's been Richard Petty.
What a Richard Petty. I got
before
Leon
that,
Redbone the other day.
All the time. Jim Croce.
Jim Croce.
Especially that one lady at the pool hall.
Leroy Brown.
Then she goes and tells everybody before you know it. Mm-hmm. Pigs won't eat tomatoes?
It depends on the pig. I'm pretty sure I've seen them eat tomatoes.
Because we usually have a lot of tomatoes left over that we've given the pigs. But we've not had real good luck with pigs.
Now, hogs do love pumpkin and watermelons. They will eat those. Like a pig.
Mm.
Goat meat, they make an okay bratwurst but I don't eat a lot of goat steaks or ground goat or.
Your mom does a lot with goat's milk.
Yeah, my mom has got, God, I don't even know how many goats at this point.
And it's like
30 or 40.
One time his nephews came over and they were wanting like goat's milk at my house. And it's like, no, we have cow's milk.
Yeah. We usually go cow's milk.
Yeah.
But Mom,
I think we actually have goat's milk in the freezer.
Mom's is good because she cleans them up well. And if you keep the udders clean, you can barely tell what milk's coming from what, to be honest. It only gets that goaty taste if you're not keeping them clean when you milk them.
So Area 51 did a live from his new site. I have to check that out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Warren's doing. Yeah. I keep hearing about that girl, Anthony. I'm sure he probably figured it out quicker than us.
Warren, he was there when I left.
No. The real Anthony went to the border. Which I'm surprised people go by.
We got close, but didn't roll down through it in El Paso. Oh, it is getting late though.
Hmm. I've got some pumpkin seeds I want to put down. Supposed to have them in by June 1st, so I am pushing it.
I'm thinking about making a pumpkin chucking device for this fall.
That would be cool.
I think so.
He keeps talking about it. And you could show him the Baitzuka sometime.
We could do that. I got a fancy gizmo for shooting frozen bait a couple hundred yards offshore.
Yep. You have to freeze some stuff and test it out.
Yep.
What could we put in there
Water,
besides water?
liquids, frozen pieces of fish.
I bet if we put a weight on the thing, it would change the projection.
A little bit, but I could probably just make it longer to get additional mass.
But then you have more resistance.
Not really.
Larger.
Oh, they don't tumble. It throws like a football
Oh, I'm
or a
thinking if
rifle
you got
bullet.
it big enough, it might go somewhere. Good night, Carl.
And ask at the meat counter at your grocer now to be able to get them for you. It's just a bone-in chop.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good, doesn't it?
And I mean, they can make blade steaks and a couple different things, but you probably want a bone-in chop. Will be a good pork steak. Don't overcook it.
It is after midnight.
Yeah, we're gonna be getting off air pretty soon,
We
guys.
gotta do work in the morning before it rains here.
Yeah, we're gonna be getting off.
I know it. It's our cue to bone and chop. I love pork chops.
I do
I
too.
love steaks or whatever.
I like pork tenderloin.
Now I'm hungry.
Pigs are really cool, guys. I mean, you got ham, bacon, sausage, pork chop, pulled porks, pork tenderloin, ribs, footballs. The most valuable part of a hog, however, guys, is the pituitary gland in the brain. It has,
Good night, Em.
what does it have? Pharmaceutical grade glucosamine in it, I want to say. But there's a guy picking one out of every hog in every plant.
Mm-hmm.
But they sell everything but the squeal out of a hog plant.
Do we have the little rototiller over here?
No, it's over at Dad's.
I may do those pumpkin seeds because I do have.
Yeah, I
just
looked
like
on
to
the
get
package.
rid of
Those are
a
from
lot of-
08, so double plant them.
I just bought them last year.
Okay.
They were.
The kid's
I
got a
got,
bunch of
like-
stuff out in the garage.
Yeah, I know. But I got like blue pumpkins and I got warty pumpkins and pie pumpkins.
We want the white. I can't remember what they call them,
I don't know.
but they're best. They're very consistent for throwing.
Yeah.
Footballs is right.
Yep. At first, I was like trying to think of what part that was. Like, if you were calling ham footballs, but you had already mentioned ham.
No. You
But
know
I
when we
got
want
it.
to go
It's
toss the
getting
old
late.
pigskin around? Pork rinds, of course.
Good night, dear. Yeah, I got all the designer pumpkins because everybody else grows all. I mean, we've got like so many people growing pumpkins around here all the time, like all of the time.
There's
It's
3
what I
major
wanted to
pumpkin
do, like
farms
back in
within 10 miles of us do
before
probably
2000.
a $250,000 a year in business each, just in October.
I thought about setting up a little pumpkin field on our acreage, and then the airplane hangar. Instead of it being a shop, it could have been turned into like one of those inside haunted things.
We're not giving up the shop for.
No, but now we can probably do a corn maze. and just like
It's
lead
best to
them,
just.
and like little signs like, in order to proceed, you know,
So you'd
collect
have
this many weeds or some shit.
to talk to Mike about that, and he wouldn't plant where you wanted it to be.
Well, I'm
That
just
can all
saying
be
to
done
try
on
to
GPS
trick
these
people
days.
into doing stuff, and they can't get out of the maze until the chores and the task are complete. Oh god, these bugs are everywhere.
I do not have a pumpkin cannon XC. If somebody has a piece of 12-inch pipe that they want to donate for the project, you bet we will build one. You absolutely bet we will build one. No, I'm probably going to make a trebuchet. About a 12-foot stick on it, and like a catapult, but gravity powered. But I figured that'd be something you guys would like to see. And I've had a hankering one for a few years now.
Tennessee Patriots trying to get a bus load.
That'd be
Bunker
sweet.
Hill or DC on the 26th. I know, it's so nice still being outside, even though we're not camping.
Oh,
I will definitely check out Anthony. The alpaca farm, Cannon Toys.
I saw that.
Went to Rural King, and they had a lot of stuff there that they don't normally have. All right, good night, Joe. We should get off here. It's 12:18.
Yeah,
I gotta work in the morning.
I gotta get up in the morning.
We're not on convoy time.
Yeah,
We've
where
got
we don't
stuff
leave
to
till
do.
9 a.m. and 8 a.m. meetings and stuff.
Where things run efficiently, and
Well, I don't know about.
stuff.
I don't know if they run efficiently, but
What here?
yeah, try.
I do. I'm efficient.
Well,
I got a lot done today. Not well. We went and picked up materials. I made some phone calls, cleaned up some stuff. Didn't do work, but worked my butt off outside around here. But I'm telling you guys, the cypress mulch really. I think if I would have had regular chips or even the dyed
pallet
mulch, it would not have been this. It was nice. I mean, yeah, it worked a lot, but I'll take you out. I'll show you tomorrow. You'll see I have a lot of mulch areas, so it does take me a while, and um, I'm very, very, very happy that it's been
Yeah,
so
Cypress
good.
did pretty good.
It
We'll do
is.
that again
It's
this
like
year.
night and day.
For many years,
I didn't put any preen down, nothing, and I haven't. I mean, the last time we were home, it was snowing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a while. So very happy about that, and I don't know what else we'll get into and show you guys tomorrow.
We'll see something, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I'm going to bed, guys. So I will see you later. Have a good evening yourselves.
Definitely keep you posted. Definitely send me emails about other things to get into around Ohio, rallies, organizations, groups. You know, even if they aren't real active, maybe we can join a couple different ones, fit it in there. We can budget time well. We are busy.
We can make it happen.
But, you know, if I'm willing to sacrifice that much time solid, hit me up with something. And
yeah, if I'll do 3 months on the convoy, I'll probably run out to
Indiana,
something like that
Michigan,
if there's stuff going on.
West Virginia, Pennsylvania, especially Harrisburg area, because I really like that area.
She just wants to go to a $high restaurant.
Probably wouldn't be able to afford it right now, but yeah, it does sound good. All right, love you guys. Have a great night, sweet dreams, and
we'll see you soon.
Wish the remaining convoys and organizations lots of love and lots of luck and lots of support. See you guys later. Bye.